Join me as I dive deep into the controversial question: are T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans the Antichrist? I'm going to explore the evidence and share my thoughts. Today, we're tackling a topic that's been on many people's minds, but few are brave enough to discuss openly. The question is simple yet provocative. Could T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans be considered the Antichrist? It's a claim that's been made by some. But is it baseless speculation, or is there some truth to it? Let's dive in and find out. There are many reasons why some people label T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans as the Antichrist. For one, they're both extremely influential figures in the Christian community, with millions of followers worldwide. This level of influence can be unsettling, especially when paired with some of their more unconventional teachings and actions. Some have accused them of watering down the gospel, of prioritizing prosperity over spirituality, and of being more focused on building their own empires than on serving God. And then there are those who point to their allegedly questionable associations, business deals, and even some of their more cryptic statements. One of the main concerns surrounding T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans is their penchant for ecumenism. Some argue that by partnering with other religions and denominations, they're compromising the core values of Christianity. Others claim that their willingness to avoid confrontation and controversy has led to a lack of accountability and transparency in their ministries. And then there are those who simply believe that their teachings don't align with Scripture, that they're more focused on self-help and motivational speaking than on preaching the true gospel. Another criticism leveled against T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans is their lavish lifestyles. They're both extremely wealthy, with private jets, mansion-sized homes, and designer clothing. While they claim to use their wealth to support charitable causes, many have questioned whether their opulent lifestyles are truly reflective of Christ's teachings. And then there are the controversies surrounding their business dealings, from real estate investments to alleged financial improprieties. Let's examine some of the specific teachings and statements made by T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans that have sparked controversy. For example, T.D. Jakes has been criticized for his views on the Trinity, which some claim are modalist and therefore heretical. Meanwhile, Tony Evans has made statements about the role of women in the church that have been labeled as patriarchal and misogynistic. And then there are the times when they've seemed to prioritize earthly success over spiritual growth, encouraging their followers to focus on building wealth and status, rather than on seeking a deeper connection with God. One of the most contentious issues surrounding T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans is their stance on social justice. While they've both spoken out on issues like racism and inequality, some have argued that their words are hollow, that they're more focused on building their own brands than on taking real action. Others have claimed that their emphasis on personal responsibility and individual effort undermines the role of systemic injustice in perpetuating inequality. And then there are those who believe that their silence on certain issues is tantamount to complicity. It's easy to get caught up in the sensationalism and speculation surrounding T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans, but what's really going on beneath the surface? Are they truly the Antichrist, or are they simply well-meaning Christians who have gotten caught up in the trappings of fame and power? To get to the bottom of this, we need to examine the evidence, to look at their teachings and actions in context. And that's exactly what we're going to do. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence against T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans is their alleged involvement with various secretive societies and organizations. Some claim that they're part of the Illuminati, while others believe they're tied to Bilderberg or even the New World Order. While these claims are difficult to verify, they do raise important questions about their true loyalties and motivations. Another piece of evidence that's often cited is their close relationships with world leaders and influential figures. From meeting with presidents and politicians to rubbing shoulders with celebrities and business moguls, T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans have built a network of connections that's unparalleled in the Christian world. But what does this mean? And what are the implications of their associations? Some of the most damning evidence against T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans comes from their own mouths. They've made statements that seem to contradict Scripture, that seem to prioritize power and wealth over spiritual growth and service to others. And then there are the times when they've appeared to use their influence to silence or discredit their critics, to maintain a veneer of perfection and orthodoxy at all costs. As we wrap up this exploration of T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans, It's clear that the answer to our initial question is far from simple. Are they the Antichrist? Maybe, maybe not. But what's certain is that their teachings and actions have sparked important conversations about the role of Christianity in the modern world, about the dangers of prosperity gospel and ecumenism, and about the need for transparency and accountability in our spiritual leaders. What do you think about T.D. Jakes and Tony Evans? Do you believe they're the Antichrist, or are they simply misunderstood? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our next video on the darker side of Christian leadership.